Unfortunately, I can only record and put videos up on my tablet, my iPad, not my phone. So, to review today is Falling Leaves. I read this a little bit ago. I guess there's going to be some spoilers, because I want to compare it to another one. It's an older book, but this is a good historical memoir. It's the only memoir I read. I had Patrick Stewart, but I usually read historical fiction. This is the only memoir I read that I've liked. Or the other one. This one I gave 3 out of 5 because the book I really like. Well, let's go about hers. This is about Adeline. She considers herself Chinese Cinderella. From what I've Googled, she's still alive. She's in her 80s. They're missing a kid. These are all the kids in her family. Her mother dies, giving birth to her. There's a stepmom, and she's very mean to them. And the dad kind of goes, because the Chinese, way of life, especially back, because she was born in 1937. So it's that all the way through. So this is about her family. It goes into great grandparents and the great aunt life too, and it goes with the history. It talks about the war and the takeover of France and all that stuff going to China during that time. So it's a good book. It's a good read. But my favorite book of all time is Chinese Cinderella. This is 5 out of 5. I have 2 copies of this. I had a third one. I gave it to a friend. She never gave it back, so I got a second one again. I love this book. I've read it 3 times. My 6th grade teacher read it to us, and we would ask questions and stuff. And I've read it at least twice since then. So I heard this as part of this, so I wanted to finally read it. It's been on my TBR for a long time. This is a lot thinner because this is just her life. And I think it stops when she becomes an adult type of thing. This one goes, like I said, it's the grandparents, the parents, the other siblings, the aunts, what they did in their jobs and how things affected them. Then it's after she becomes an adult and all that stuff and her jobs and how the family reacted, and when the parents died, the will and all that stuff is this. This stops at adult. So if you just want her childhood into adult, her life, this is good. And that's why I like it. Because I find things interesting, but I'm not really one to care about the history part because I don't know much about it. It was fun learning about it because there was so much about what's going on in the world at that time is what wasn't it for me type of thing. It wasn't bad. I really like it. But since I love this one more, if I didn't read this one, this would be higher. But since I love just her life more, is why this one's lower. I'm glad I read it. Some more info on her life, more about everything. So it's there's no regret there. And I think you should read it too. This is a quicker one. It's a little thinner compared to that one. So I thought this was going to be in this, but it's not full. It is, but it's not. It's not as much part of this as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be this story with just things around it to tell more, but it's not. Her life is in there, but it doesn't, it's a lot about her family, too, and about what they do. So there's less of this than I think I thought there was going to be, type of thing. But I said it was a good read, probably quick for other people. In the middle, I just had it. In the middle, there's pictures of her real life family. There's the dad and the stepmom. And I don't know why they have all the kids except the youngest sister in there. Right? Oh no, they are there. This one is all the kids. For some reason I thought she was like the youngest, like they were missing a kid. It's all her siblings, and the dog. You'll learn about the dog, grandpa, and the parent, and the dad and stepmom. Yeah. So you learn a lot more about them compared to this, but you know, I think I would recommend it. Saying it's a memoir, so it's all real. I would like to think it's all real, that she's not faking it. But I gave it 3 out of 5 because as it goes more into it in this, more sad about how the stepmom treated her even worse afterwards. Like there's more to it than this. So that's why I'm glad I found it. I read it because of how much I like this. If you just want a quick memoir, this one might be good for you if you just like one person. But I would recommend both because I read this a few times. I don't remember, like, you know, once you read it after a while, you kind of not forget, but you know what I mean. So it didn't really mess with this one much because like some things I remember, like her. But so it was like easy to go because I knew where it was compared to her life and this. But when I'm done reading books, I put them in the low free library. This one will go in the low free library, but you know, I have 1 or 2 copies of these. I will probably reread this sometime in the future. I have a big TBR. Well, for me, big TBR. It's like, it was 20 books. But someday, you know, throughout my life, every decade or so, I take it out and I read it because I just like it so much. I don't know why. A memoir is one of my favorite books compared to other things. I read a lot of historical fiction. This is what got me into it. You know, it's real. I love the Oriental lifestyle type of thing because it's different of them. Like a lot of them are Chinese, but I think I had a Japanese one and like other kind of things. So it's like I just say Oriental. They're historical fiction, but this is what got me into like I like the growing up teen adult, like going into instead of just having memoirs start kind of at the beginning of adult, like stories start at the beginning of adulthood, or like just quickly going through childhood and teen, you know, all those years. That's what I like reading about. That's why I like journal type things. So that's why I really liked this. You know, this is the book I'm reading. So I like this because of that. So I would recommend to read it. It's a good memoir. Learning about things if you don't know about other countries, especially in the past, and how they treated. This was late 30s, so this was after feet binding. They mentioned it a few times, but it's after the feet binding, but there were still arranged marriages because of how traditional they were. There's still arranged marriages. There's still how women are lesser than men. You know, the favoritism, like that's still in this. So if you don't like that stuff, I would go on here, like, be careful. Nothing really bad, like, there's abuse. Her whole life is about abuse. So there's that in it. Like, there's, I guess, some hitting. Mostly, it's all mental abuse. Most of it. But it's the way of the Chinese and all the, like, that way of no matter how bad your parents treat you, you're still their child and you have to take care of them. So, like, her stepmom is horrible to all of them, yet half of them still want her approval, want, you know, to be good. And some of them, and the parents still pay for some things for them. You know, they treat her so bad, but then when they get old, they want her to help with things. And it's like, but I know that's the way just of the culture. So that's why I don't question it really type of thing, because I know just that's how it is. Some family that way. I know other places that I know, like Greeks and Italian, you know, they're all the same way. The traditional kind, it's, you know, it's all family and blood, and no matter how you're treated, you still take care of your elders type of thing. So that's why I like learning about other cultures and families and how they were. So that's why I love these type of books. So yes, even though I gave it a 3 out of 5, it's because, like, I only give them 5 out of 5 if I'm going to, like, reread them or I really love them. Like, I have a few 5 out of 5s. This is one of them. This is my first, I think, 5 out of 5. And then, like I said, I wasn't really into, like, the history, which a lot of people are, and they were interesting, so I, like, skimmed through a lot of those parts. So that's why it wasn't a 4. Because I was really interested in her. And the, you know, kind of what happens that I don't know about. I was interested in that kind of. But some of it was like just what's happening in the area, and then her great her great aunt and what she was doing. It's like the great aunt has nothing really to do with this. A little bit, but like that's why I like skimmed through it, because what my interest in was her siblings, and her parents, type of thing, the main family. So, but I would, like I said, if you want to learn more, this, or if you want a quickie, this one is, I would recommend. And since it's an older book, not many, I don't see people talking about it. So, trying to get these books. I don't read super new books most of the time. So, that's why I thought about making videos, because this will bring out some older books that people might have forgotten about or didn't know.